Farming began around 12,000 years ago during the Neolithic Revolution, when humans shifted from hunting and gathering to agriculture. This change started in several regions, including the Fertile Crescent in the Middle East, the Yangtze and Yellow River valleys in China, and the Andes in Mesoamerica. The earliest known crops included wheat, barley, lentils, and chickpeas. Domesticated animals like sheep, goats, and cattle were also introduced around the same time. This transition allowed for more food production and supported growing populations. Before farming, human societies were largely egalitarian and mobile. People moved seasonally, depending on food availability, and shared resources within small bands or tribes. Archaeological evidence from sites such as Göbekli Tepe in Turkey suggests that early humans built complex ritual sites before they adopted farming. The abundance of wild food allowed for free time, flexibility, and a balanced diet. Early humans had a variety of tasks and fewer working hours compared to later agricultural societies. Once humans adopted farming, they began settling in one place. Permanent settlements required the clearing of land, building of homes, and development of irrigation systems. The need to protect land, crops, and water sources led to the establishment of social hierarchies and organized governance. As a result, early agricultural communities developed divisions of labor, property rights, and formal leadership. Farming introduced social inequality, with landowners gaining power over others. Agriculture required long hours of repetitive work. Plowing, planting, watering, weeding, and harvesting consumed most of the day. This labor was physically demanding and often took a toll on health. Human skeletons from early farming communities show signs of joint stress, spinal damage, and reduced height, indicating poorer nutrition and hard labor. This contrasts sharply with the health of earlier hunter-gatherers, who were taller and had fewer signs of physical wear. Farming also narrowed the human diet. While hunter-gatherers ate a wide variety of plants and animals, early farmers relied heavily on a few staple crops like wheat and rice. This lack of dietary diversity led to deficiencies in essential nutrients. Diseases such as scurvy, rickets, and anemia became more common. Furthermore, the close proximity of humans and animals in early farming villages encouraged the spread of infectious diseases, including tuberculosis and smallpox. The rise of farming increased population growth, which further locked societies into agricultural systems. More people meant more food was needed, leading to the expansion of farmland and deforestation. Larger populations required more social coordination, taxes, and armies, all of which led to the formation of states and empires. Leaders used religion, laws, and force to maintain control. Agricultural surpluses were stored and taxed, enriching the elite and deepening class divisions. The reliance on agriculture also made societies vulnerable to environmental changes. Droughts, floods, and pests could destroy crops and cause famine. Famines became common in farming societies, as seen in ancient Egypt and China. In contrast, hunter-gatherer groups could move to new areas and adapt more easily to changing conditions. Farmers had to remain tied to their land, making them more dependent and less flexible. Farming introduced slavery and forced labor as part of economic production. Ancient civilizations like Mesopotamia, Greece, and Rome used slaves to work in fields and manage livestock. In many societies, poor farmers were heavily taxed or went into debt, eventually losing their land and freedom. Systems like serfdom in medieval Europe further illustrate how agriculture created long-term dependence and control over rural populations. The labor of farmers supported the wealth of rulers, priests, and warriors. As farming spread, patriarchal systems became more dominant. In many farming societies, men controlled land, inheritance, and public life, while women were confined to domestic roles. Gender inequality became institutionalized. In contrast, many hunter-gatherer societies had more equal roles, with both men and women contributing to food collection and decision-making. The shift to farming thus also changed family structures and gender dynamics. Modern industrial society still depends on farming, but the work has changed due to machinery, technology, and chemical inputs. However, the foundation of agriculture still shapes labor, economy, and social order. The early promise of farming, more food, and stability came at the cost of health, freedom, and equality. Farming turned humans into producers tied to land and rulers, marking the beginning of long-term societal control and economic systems based on inequality. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and support us.